This is the MG4, an all-electric hatchback which has a very striking design, a bold stance out on the road and performs pretty well. But what happens if you ramp up that performance? Well then, you get the MG4 XPower. The MG4 XPower has a 0-60 time of 3.7 seconds, 600 Newton meters of torque and 435 PS power output. That is stupidly good. And how have MG managed to do this? Transform this into this? That is what we're going to find out today. But first, if you want to find out more about the MG4 XPower, then head over to the Holcroft website. First, let's dissect design. I mean, the old MG4, well, it's not exactly old, but the OG MG4 had that very aggressive face, had that bold stance, that rear spoiler that comes with the top spec, the trophy, and that accentuated rear light bar. Overall, it's a good looking hatchback. And even though the MG4 XPower is pretty much the same design, in fact, it is literally the same body as the original MG4, this feels like a completely brand new car. First, you have that matte green body paint. This isn't the only colourway you can get. You can get metallic paint option with the usual colour options, but that really stands out. You also get the contrasting black around here and that new design alloy wheels with them orange brake calipers. So even though this is pretty much the same body as the original MG4, something about them three little changes just makes this car really stand out. The MG4 XPower isn't just an upgraded EV with refreshed looks. It's almost a piece of history. This car almost marks the start of a next generation of high performance vehicles, and especially high performance hatchbacks. I mean, we've seen Alpine unveil the A290, a high performance EV, very compact, has that single front seat. You've also seen Hyundai release the Ioniq 5N, which, yes, I know is more like a small SUV, but you get where I'm coming from. These high-performance EVs are the start of something big. And that something big starts with something pretty small, well, in price terms anyway, because the MG4 XPower has a price tag of £36,000, which is your mid to high tier pricing when it comes to the car market. But this car's an EV, so it's going to be that bit extra anyway. And for a car with a 0-60 time of 3.7 seconds, it's not bad in the grand scheme of things, because the XPower comes up against the Porsche Panamera, the Aston Martin Vantage and the Audi RS6 when it comes to performance stats, as well as many others. And it's pretty obvious that the MG4 comes in much cheaper. But how have MG managed to create such a high performing vehicle for that very affordable price tag? You see, the MG4 XPower comes with a 64 kilowatt hour battery which produces 435 PS power output. What's interesting is the original MG4 come with the same size battery, 64 kilowatt hour, but only produced 245. So it's almost magic how MG have managed to get from this to this. MG have really upgraded that powertrain, and it's not just because they upgraded the battery, because this car comes with an all-wheel drive system which MG have implemented to the new XPower. That increases the stability and control that this vehicle has, which is needed for the fact this car also has launch control, which we are going to test out now on a quiet stretch of roads. Brace yourself. That is stupidly good. Oh my god. Oh, I need to lie down. Right, we're going to do that again because, gosh, that's a lot of fun. That's just stupid. What isn't stupid though is the safety features in this car, because a car of this high performing nature, it's pretty tempting to get a bit silly in it. So safety in the MG4 XPower is a priority. It comes with all the usual blind spot monitoring, parking cameras, lane keep assist, that adaptive cruise control, emergency braking. But with them new silicone wheels, it actually has sport braking. And it also comes with larger front and rear brake discs, as well as them sport brake calipers, which actually means you can decelerate from 62 to 0 in just 33.9 meters. Yep, them brakes work. Oh, Jesus, got whiplash. In terms of driver convenience and driving experience, in terms of ease for your everyday today, and well, it's the same old MG4 in the sense that the original MG4 was a very low cost EV. It was almost an entry EV for people, but it was a very practical car. It got it from A to B, and it got it from A to B in a very nice manner. And the XPower still is that, but just with that ridiculous powertrain. It pretty much has the same setup as the original MG4. That you have that center console with the wireless phone charging pads. You have the infotainment screen, digital drive display. It shows everything you need to. It might look pretty compact when you first get in. However, it does display all that you need to. When it comes to your adaptive cruise control, and that's all done via these buttons on the steering wheel, which feels quite good. There's a lot of cars that offer this price range on the market that has that really awkward stick behind, you know, your indicator. The infotainment screen's really easy to access, it has them shortcut buttons underneath, and it's just a really responsive system for obviously this car being the new top spec of the MG4. You know, before you had the trophy long range, which roughly was about £32,000. This is now the 36 mark, so it's like the new top spec. So you're going to get all them nice luxuries like the heated seats, heated steering wheel, 360 parking cameras. What's also a really nice feature about the MG4 XPower, which just gives a completely brand new driving experience, especially for the MG lineup, is the fact that this car comes with track modes. So here you can either select whether you are on a track or a bit of closed roads or street roaming. So then you click start current trip, and then it'll tell you your times, your power distribution, the G-force, etc, etc. And when it comes to the interior, the XPower hasn't exactly advanced from the original MG4 in the sense that the only main difference is it's got that nice suede going up the middle and the orange stitching. Apart from that, it is pretty much the same design as the standard MG4. There's nothing really much to comment about. I do like that suede effect with the orange stitching. It does give it that sporty edge, but overall, it is an MG4. When it comes to the rear seats, well, it is the same old story. You have them same style seats with the orange stitching and the suede effect. You have nice little pockets in the back of the seats and a nice big one, you know, your standard. More storage down here, one USB port, so if you have multiple occupants in the back, they're going to be fighting over that one USB. Would be nice if those two, but beggars can't be choosers. It's exactly the same as the front. This is pretty much the same style as the original MG4. So if you've not seen it, here it is. It's spacious, it has lots of storage, decent amount of headroom, you know, for a hatchback. It is pretty spacious in the back. Overall, nothing really much you can comment about. It's the same style, has some style seats at the front, and is very spacious. And when it comes to boot space, the MG4 XPower has a rather impressive boot capacity for a hatchback, as it has 363 litres of boot capacity, pretty identical to the original MG4. And finally, obviously with this very high performing vehicle being an EV, you might be thinking it's going to have a really low electric range, or that battery is going to get zapped pretty quickly. However, that is not the case. The XPower comes with 328 miles electric range, which can actually use a 150 kilowatt fast charger, meaning you can get from 10 to 80% in just 35 minutes. When it comes to 50 kilowatt charging, that 10 to 80% time jumps to just 52 minutes, so still not too bad. So then, the MG4 XPower. Yes, the exterior and interior are mostly the same as the original MG4. However, with them subtle changes and that ridiculous performance, this feels like a one-of-a-kind car, and certainly a car that's going to shake up the EV market. Could this be the best performing EV of the year? I'll let you be the judge of that.